Are you ready to go 5 pounds down? Well, I've got a great metabolic workout today that includes both cardio and strength. So grab your dumbbells and let's go. All right, beautiful bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving. And that means that we're going to have our dumbbells completely out of the way. I almost missed it. That also means that we're going to start with some arm circles with high knees. You guys, welcome to the workout. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend. And around here, we are all about making peace with your menopausal body by finding a healthy weight and moving in ways that feel like self-love. And you guys, you know what feels like self-love? Finding that healthy weight with the 5-0 method, where every single day we do 5 things that make you say, oh, I had no idea it could be this simple to lose weight at our age. Every single day we eat the right number of calories, which is not necessarily less than you were eating before. Every single day we drink the right amount of water, which is half your body weight in pounds, in fluid ounces of water. Every single day we get the right amount of sleep by going to bed at the same time every night, getting up at the same time every morning, and not worrying about how much in between was actual sleep. Because sometimes it's not. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. Every single day we exercise moderately with a beautiful workout like this one, which is not necessarily more than you were doing before. And every single day, the most important thing we can do, we manage our minds by finding our thoughts and deciding if they're helpful. Because my friend, here's a little bit of tough love for you. If you are not already at your goal weight, you are having some unhelpful thoughts. Because that's just how it works. In fact, we all have unhelpful thoughts. Let me just normalize this for you really quickly. There is nothing about having unhelpful thoughts that's a problem. It's just how your brain works. So I have a helpful thought for you that you might enjoy. I happen to love this one. And the way you know whether or not it's helpful is how it feels. If the thought feels good, it's a helpful thought. If the thought feels, not great, not good, not fun, unpleasant, unhappy, whatever, then it is not a helpful thought for you, and you may discard it. And then you know what? You can just mute the whole workout. Not necessarily. The helpful thought, though, is I'm strong enough for this. I love this helpful thought. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to Blossom's home. I'm strong enough for this is something I have repeated to myself numerous times when I was in the middle of doing something that I did not want to be strong enough for. Because sometimes there are things that we need to get done in our lives that we don't want to do, that we don't think we'd like to do, that maybe we don't feel strong enough to handle. And yet, your track record, my friend, you have survived every single day of your life up until now. You probably will continue to. And that's how you know that you are strong enough. You guys, you are definitely strong enough for this workout, and it's gonna make you even stronger. I've got my handy dandy gym boss here set for intervals of 30 seconds. And we've got a Metcon workout today, which means we go back and forth between cardio and strength with no rest. So what we're gonna do, I've got 30 seconds of cardio, and then I've actually got 2 intervals of strength, but 2 different exercises. You'll see how this goes as we go through it. Going to be a lot of fun. And really specifically, don't worry about the transitions in between the cardio, the strength, and the other strength, because I already know that this is going to be awkward for me. That's part of the fun of it. Let's go ahead and get started with some low swinging tappers, which means that we are swinging our hands low, just means that they're not going up above our heads. And just tapping from side to side, doing some Robert Palmers with our feet down here. Now, this is going to be, I'm thinking about just how much time is spent doing cardio, how much time is spent doing strength. Today is going to feel a little bit strengthy, which means that I'm not trying to go very fast. I don't want to get my heart rate spiked up super high and then trying to figure out strength. By the way, coming up next, we're going to do high knee press ups. So we're going to grab our dumbbells and we're going to bring up one high knee while pressing up, hopefully, the other hand. We'll see how my body goes. Oh, look at that. I was able to go across my body. A high knee press up means that you're bringing up one high knee at a time while the hand across your body is doing a press up. Really thinking about pulling in your core. We're definitely thinking about our form today. What we're going to do next is deadlifts. We're going to have our core pulled in nice and tight. This strength work means that we're really thinking about where our body is in space and time. We've got some nice balance work here. Go ahead and pull in that core. You're going to push your hips back and then pull your hips forward. Really thinking about keeping your back straight and letting your glutes, that's your butt, drive this train. Your butt pushes back and then your butt pulls forward. Your torso can't help but come forward when your butt goes back. You're not thinking about bending over or leaning over. You're thinking, well, I always think about trying to hit something behind me with my booty. When it beeps again, we're gonna put these dumbbells down right over here, and we're gonna get back to those low swinging tappers. So we're doing each triplet of exercises 2 times in a row before we move on to the next thing. Got a nice variety of exercises today, and we're definitely thinking about being strong enough for things. Now, the reason I happen to love this particular helpful thought, the reason it feels helpful to me, is because there have been a lot of times in my life when I have thought that I wasn't strong enough for something. In fact, it's a thought that I still come up against. Here we go with those high knee press ups. It's a thought that I still come up with in my head. Okay, high knee press up across your body, often enough that it's why it was even on my mind for this being a helpful thought. There are absolutely times when I think to myself, oh, I just don't like the feeling of failure. I just don't like the feeling of disappointment. I just don't like it when, I can't think of another example right off the top of my head, but this is where I'm going with this conversation. And then here we go with deadlifts for the second and final time. When it beeps again, I'm going to tell you right now, we're putting those dumbbells back down and we're coming back to cardio. We're doing cross back jacks. It's essentially a curtsy lunge, but because I don't really like to lunge all that low, I don't really call them curtsy lunges anymore. I like calling them cross backs because it's a little bit more fun. Our hands are doing jumping jacks. Our lower body is doing that curtsy lunge. If you still like to lunge nice and low, you absolutely help yourself, my friend. You can always, and in fact should always, here we go with those cross back jacks, make the workout work for you. Whatever you like to do, as fast as you like to go, as slow as you like to go, whatever weights you like to use, you can always make this workout work for you, as long as you are not getting injured and you are getting the results that you like. When it beeps again, by the way, we're doing umbrella openers. Gonna grab those dumbbells, gonna have one arm coming out to the front, one arm going out to the side, and the opposite leg pressing out to the side. It's not really a press, but it's not really a kick either. So we're opening in 3 different planes of motion here, which actually technically is still only 2 planes of motion because one arm is going in front of you and the other arm and the leg are in the same plane of motion, but they're across your body. So, just work with me. When it beeps again, we're doing a squat side kick. We got lots of good side and lateral motion today, really working on that hip and glute complex. So go ahead and have your weights just right here. We're going to squat down and side kick, and then squat down and side kick. Oh my gosh, working on balance today. And I can already feel, I kind of felt this coming into this workout today. My balance does not feel amazing. My concentration, frankly, does not feel amazing. I know you noticed that in the first 5 seconds of our workout when I had almost forgotten to tell you to take your dumbbells out of the way. Let's go ahead and put those dumbbells down, speaking of that, and come back to those cross back jacks. Second and final time through this triplet of exercises. So don't mind me if I'm off topic, rambling, don't know what I'm saying, forget an exercise. These are all possibilities, and really anytime they're possibilities, but today really specifically. Sometimes I can feel that my brain would like to skitter away. When it beeps again, we're doing those umbrella openers. But you know what? I'm strong enough for this. I'm strong enough to make mistakes. I'm strong enough to feel that embarrassment if something doesn't go the way I anticipated it going. I'm strong enough for anything. I've handled some things in my life. Not all of them were of my own choosing, of my own design. Some of them were not of my own design, but some of them were definitely my own fault. And I've been strong enough for all of it. The fact is, when you tell yourself, oh, I'm not strong enough to handle this, I can't do this. Let's go ahead and do those squat side kicks again. So it's a squat and a side raise. It's actually a side raise. I'm really actually concentrating. I'm thinking about squeezing from the side of my butt as I bring that leg up and out to the side. This is a nice inner and outer thigh and side butt exercise. When it beeps again, we're going to put those dumbbells down and we're doing a punch kick. That is our cardio move. Really thinking about having your core in, thinking about excellent form for all of our exercises today. No matter if we are doing cardio or strength, here's punch and kick. Punch and kick. kick. No matter what we are doing, it is a good idea to be thinking about your strength. You are strong enough for this, and you can get stronger. The way to get stronger at doing literally anything is to practice it. When it beeps again, we're doing delt raise side kicks. I promised you lots of side butt motion today. Lots of really thinking about moving in different planes of motion. One of the things I was just reading very recently, so here we go with a delt raise side kick. Pulling those dumbbells up, having your palms facing your body, core pulled in nice and tight, thinking about bringing your elbows up to the point where your hands are just underneath your chin, if you can get them that high. We're not really trying to shrug our shoulders nearly so much as control the movement of your elbows. When it beeps again, we're gonna do letter X's, standing with your feet about hip width apart, pulling in that core. We're gonna make the top half of the letter X. Here we go. Gonna make the top half of the letter X by spreading your hands out wide to the top, and then bring them back to center, and then spread them out wide at the bottom. Excellent, excellent job. But I was just reading something about how many older adults, meaning somebody over 65, how many older adults fall each year. I think I was just telling you yesterday, day before yesterday, recently. This is how scattered I am. I know it was recently, I don't remember when it was. Here we go with those punch, punch, kick. I was telling you about my book and how I'm writing it. Well, one of the things that I've been researching is like the danger of falls and why we need to be working on balance, things like that. Well, and one of the things that I was reading is that older adults fall. I mean, somebody falls, I think it was like every minute of every day somebody in America falls. And it's not necessarily deadly from the actual fall. It's actually a lot of like complications from the fall. When it beeps again, by the way, we're doing those delt raise side kicks. So go ahead and grab your dumbbells, and here we go. But one of the things that I don't remember what article it was, I think it was from the CDC, was talking about how many people fall when they are moving from side to side, because we don't generally strengthen these kinds of muscles. We do a lot of walking, we do a lot of forward, we do very little backward, and we do very, very little lateral motion. It's one of the reasons why I ask us pretty frequently to step backward, even though I don't like it, to move sideways. Here we go with those letter X's. Pull in your core, the top half of the letter X. Whew, and then the bottom half of the letter X. It's why I ask us to do things we don't like to do. You're strong enough for it, and you can get stronger by practicing. When it beeps again, we're moving on to our next triplet of exercises. We're doing dancing frogs. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gave myself some really good challenges today for a day when my brain does not feel strong enough for this. Dancing frogs is the one where I am taking off my hat with one hand and kicking my opposite foot. Okay, taking off the hat like Michigan J Frog, dancing and kicking, thinking about having your core pulled in as we are lifting one leg. That's a little bit of balance work, really thinking about where your body is in space and time, having your hands up or out to the side. This is the kind of thing that you could be doing when you fall, and that's why we're practicing so we can be strong with it. When it beeps again, we're doing side kick curls, where we're gonna grab those dumbbells. We're gonna be doing curls with our upper body, and that side kick again. You guys, when your side butt feels this work tomorrow, you are welcome. This is the kind of thing that makes us stronger. Now, I'm not saying that you should be sore. In fact, I hope you are not sore tomorrow. I do hope that we can have a nice, oh gosh, tomorrow's cardio. I'm already looking forward to that. I'm strong enough for that too. I love to have a nice cardio workout after we do this kind of stuff. We're gonna do bent over flies next, feet about hip width apart. Push your hips back like almost into a deadlift, but not quite that far over. Hands or palms facing each other, and then we're gonna fly those arms out to the side, really thinking about pulling not from your shoulders, like the top of your shoulders, but from the middle of your back. Having that core pulled in your back nice and straight will really help you find those muscles. You are strong enough for this. And simultaneously, if you need to modify, let's go ahead and put those down. Here we come back to dancing frogs. If you need to modify, and dancing frogs means that you're picking up your hat and kicking with your opposite foot, by the way. If you need to modify, need to drop your weights, need to use no weights, that is still strong enough to do this. You are strong enough to modify when I'm doing something different. You are strong enough to handle it if I'm going faster than you, or if I'm doing something different than you. When it beeps again, we're doing those side kick curls. You are strong enough for anything. Let's go ahead and do those side kick curls. Elbows locked into your waist. Got your dumbbells in your hands, curling with the biceps curls while we are moving. Raising our leg, that's the word I'm trying to say, raising your leg out to the side. When it beeps again, doing those bent over flies for the second and final time. Doing such a good job. My friends, the thing about getting to your weight loss goal means that you are going to have to be strong enough, here we go with those bent over flies, to do things that maybe you don't love, that maybe feel awkward or uncomfortable, such as, something as simple as finding your thoughts, deciding if they're helpful. For lots of you, and I do hear this on the daily, either through messages or comments, that you don't love the mindset work, that it feels awkward to journal, that you're a little bit nervous about what you're gonna find if you go digging around up there in your brain, and I totally understand. Go ahead and put those dumbbells down, because here we go with shooting stars. You're reaching out to one side while kicking out on the opposite side. Yes, indeed, more lateral motion. This is a great way to practice your balance in this lateral plane of motion, because this is where you are most at risk. And yet, not you. You're strong enough to not fall because you are doing all kinds of balance work. You know where your core is. You know where your body is in space and time. When it beeps again, oh my gosh, speaking of knowing where your body is, we're gonna do Drinky birds. Pull in your core, nice and tight. Dumbbells in your hands. We are going to tip forward by pulling up your leg behind you. This means, first of all, that we're going to move kind of slowly, because I really want you to think about where your leg is behind you. Thinking about the rear chain of your body is very different. In fact, it's not where we mostly have our concentration. By the way, when it beeps again, we're doing 3-point crunches. I know how I feel. Go ahead and have your hands up on your shoulders, your elbows wide. We bring that elbows together to one high knee at a time. 3 points coming together in a crunch. Your knee and both of your elbows squeezing, curling, crunching in the middle. Working those abs, working that balance. Really thinking about standing strong on that one leg without clenching your toes, without locking your knee. You are strong enough to stand on one leg without using your joints to do so. Let's go ahead and put those dumbbells down. Here we come back to shooting stars, tipping one way and tipping the other. My friends, I feel like I was in the middle of saying something and I don't remember exactly what it was. Something about being moderate, something about getting to your healthy weight means that you are strong enough. That's what it was. Don't mind me following my own train of thought. Strong enough to do things that maybe you don't want to do. For example, doing something moderate every day instead of pushing yourself, or eating the right number of calories. Here we go with Drinky birds, which for some of us is more than we were eating before. Now that's not a promise. Some of us have to bring our calories down. Some of us have to bring our calories up. Some of us have to exercise more. Some of us have to exercise less. All of us, every single one of us, have to figure out where that is for us. Your job is to be strong enough to pay attention to your results. Here we go with those 3-point crunches. Hands on your shoulders, elbows wide, and then elbows together with that high knee. I can tell you exactly what to do, and I do pretty often tell you exactly what to do. The fact is, you are strong enough, and frankly, smart enough, to make your best routine out of everything that I offer you. When it beeps again, we're doing speed skaters, putting those dumbbells down. That's the one where we're making the infinity sign, like a sideways number 8 with our hands, while moving from side to side on one foot at a time. Oh yes, more lateral motion. This is really working your balance. Have that core pulled in even while we're doing cardio. We are thinking about cardio. When it beeps again. Oh gosh, we're doing wide open step backs. I promised you, we are doing things out of our normal comfort zone. We are thinking about really reducing our risk for falling by practicing in small doses, 30 seconds at a time, doing something that we wouldn't do normally. How often do you step backwards, like in the normal course of your day? Literally never. Well, I mean, maybe. Actually, I just got done grocery shopping, so here we go with wide open step backs. Your hands are about shoulder height, elbows are about shoulder height. We're opening our hands and closing our hands while taking one step back at a time. Coming up next, we're doing twisting high knees. Weights are going to be right about chest height. We're going to twist our torso while bringing up one high knee at a time. But today, I was at the grocery store. It was busy. So here we go with twisting high knees. And I did actually have to step backwards because somebody was coming at the aisle towards me, and there was somebody else. The aisles are just wide enough for like 2.5 people. So sometimes when there's 3 of us in the way, somebody has to step backwards or get through faster. As it happens, I took the initiative to step backwards so that the other person could get through because I was still looking for what I was looking for. When it beeps again, we're doing those speed skaters for the second and final time. And so yes, every now and again, here we go with those speed skaters. Every now and again, we do step backwards, but it's so rare that that is one of your riskiest moves as we move into our older adult years. Therefore, what a good idea to practice it on purpose while we're getting stronger so that it doesn't have as much risk. When it beeps again, doing those wide open step backs, everybody's favorite, including mine. Okay, maybe not my favorite, but actually, you know what, in small doses, stuff like this totally is, because there's not very much to it. If this was a longer interval or we were doing more of them, it probably wouldn't be my favorite. But because it is very near the absolute end of our workout and it's just 30 seconds, I feel like I can do anything for 30 seconds. I'm strong enough for this. When it beeps again, doing those twisting high knees for the second and final time. And then my friends, oh my goodness, we have reached the end of my list of exercises. When it beeps again, we are done. Oh, but we are not quite finished. We're going to go ahead and put those dumbbells down though, because I do have one final thing for us. And of course, it is balance work. My friends, I feel very strongly that I am strong enough for balance work, and I want you to be strong enough for this kind of work. That's why we practice it every single day that we're together. We're going to be doing around the world taps. Go ahead and put that dumbbells down. I'm going to stand on my left foot. Going to start by tapping forward, and then side, and then back, side, and forward. You are welcome to go as fast or as slow feels good to you. I am intentionally doing taps today, and I'm so grateful to my past self for choosing taps instead of kicks because of everything going on in my brain today. You are also welcome. If you'd prefer, you can absolutely do around the world kicks, making sure that you've unclenched your toes. Let's change feet forward, side, and back. Unclench your toes, unclench your knee. What I mean by that is that you're actually engaging your thigh muscle. You're bringing that work intentionally all the way up into your abs and your glutes to be able to stand on one leg. Your abs and your glutes, significantly larger muscles, and they're right here in the center of you, which means this is your center of gravity. The more you're trying to balance something, and that was it, my friends, the more you're trying to balance something further away from your center of gravity, let's go ahead and do some arm circles, the harder it is to balance. When you are balancing from your foot, that's actually great. First of all, they're really small muscles. And second of all, it's so far away from your center of gravity. That's why it feels so hard. When you're balancing from your abs and your glutes, your body's totally got this. You are totally strong enough for this, my friend. Thank you so much for working out with me today. We got a lot of cardio, we got a lot of strength, had a nice conversation. I think I finished almost everything I was talking about, more or less. We'll see. Let's go ahead and open it up. Oh my gosh, what a nice big stretch on your chest, and then close it up. Give yourself a hug and a pat on your strong, strong back. You, my friend, are strong enough for this. You are strong enough to get all the way to your weight loss goal. You are strong enough to do the 5 things that we do in the 5-0 method. You are strong enough for everything that comes your way, and you can get even stronger by practicing a little bit at a time. The things that you think maybe you're not strong enough for, practice them a little bit. Then you will get strong enough. You guys, thank you so much for working out with me today. Make sure you click that subscribe button before you go, and I'll see you tomorrow.